I want to tell you the story of Yaa Asantewaa, the golden flame of the Ashanti. In the lush green heartland of the Ashanti kingdom, where the drumbeats of life echoed through cocoa forests and sacred groves, a miracle took root. On a moonless night, when the silence of the land was as thick as the velvet sky, a child was born beneath a baobab tree in Bessis. Her mother had labored in solitude, guided only by ancestral whispers and a presence too divine to name. The midwife, old Nana Efua, later swore that she saw a spirit cloaked in gold enter the hut and disappear when the baby let out her first cry. They named her Yaa, born on a Thursday, as the tradition of the Akan people commanded. But there was something different about this child. Her eyes gleamed like polished obsidian, and she never cried longer than necessary. The elders knew she had been touched by the gods. She was a divine blessing. When Yaa was just 5 seasons old, her grandmother took her to the shrine of Nana Nyamoa, the Ashanti goddess of justice, protection, and divine order. The priestess, in the midst of ritual, fell into trance and uttered a seemingly ominous prophecy. This child bears the fire of Umosul, the one who cleanses wrong with truth and strength. She is the sword of the ancestors. She is the protector of stools and souls. She shall not bow to empires of dust. And from that day forth, Yah was considered chosen. The people called her Awo Niame Yah, the one gifted by the goddess. Her childhood was unlike any other. While other girls learned to weave kente cloth and pound fufu, Yah had learned archery, horseback riding, battle chants, and the silent codes of the spies. Her uncle, Nana Akwasi Afrane Okpise, a renowned warrior and elder, took her under his wing. He taught her the art of leadership and warfare. She mastered the way of the akrafena, the Ashanti sacred sword, and wore red in reverence to the goddess of vengeance and spiritual warfare. In the dark of night, she would speak to Nana Nimiawa, and in her dreams, she would wake up sometimes with answers to questions that she had not yet asked, wondering how these dreams were able to give her this information. This was the rise of a queen. Yaa married a nobleman and bore a daughter, living for a time in relative peace, but peace is a fragile shell in the clutch of empire. The British Empire, the sun never set on it, and greedy for gold and control, turned their eyes on the Ashanti. They sent emissaries and soldiers demanding submission of the people. And it was in 1900, when Yaa had become Queen Mother of Ejisu, that the call to destiny came. The British governor, Sir Frederick Hodgson, made an audacious demand. He wished to sit upon the Golden Stool, the sacred throne of Ashanti kings, believed to house the soul of the nation. Gasps filled the royal court, and elders wept. Warriors turned pale, because to allow a foreigner, a colonial usurper no less, to sit upon the golden stool was a desecration worse than death. The chiefs, paralyzed by fear, debated endlessly, and then Yaa Asantewaa stood in a crimson cloth woven with symbols of war and storm. She rose like thunder. Her voice was not shrill but sharp, cutting through fear like the blade of the akrafena. Is it true that the bravery of Ashanti is no more? If you men will not fight, then we the women will. I shall call upon my sisters. We will fight the white man. We will fight till the last drop of blood is spilled on this sacred land. And at that moment the court fell silent. Her words ignited the room, and in that moment Yaa Asantewaa did not just become a leader. She became a fire no empire could quench. And so began the War of the Golden Stool. With her spirit ablaze and her people behind her, Yaa led a rebellion unlike any seen in Western Africa. Her army was fierce, organized, and steeped in sacred traditions, and she called upon priestesses to bless the warriors, drummers to signal the gods, and hunters to move in the shadows. She did not merely fight with muskets and cutlasses, she fought with the spirits of her ancestors, with the blessings of Nana Nyamewa, as well as a fury that was forged in centuries of growing resistance. The British perhaps had underestimated her. After all, she was just a woman, and a queen, no less. They believed that she would crumble under their cannon fire, but the Queen Mother turned hills into fortresses, women into spies, and forests into living traps. The Ashanti warriors held their ground for months, pushing back the invaders, defying the odds. It's very difficult to always beat an indigenous people on their homeland, home turf. And so, even when the British brought in reinforcements and advanced weaponry, Yaa did not surrender. She believed the soul of her people lived within that stool, that throne, that no matter how many lives were lost, the spirit of Ashanti would endure onward. And though eventually she was captured and exiled to Seychelles, but she never knelt. Her words echoed across the waters, a call to generations unborn. And so she began her final journey, much to our chagrin many years later, far from her homeland. The queen aged but never faded. She wore white to honor the ancestors and red on feast days for the goddess of storms. Local in Seychelles whispered of her power. They claimed she healed the sick with her hands and spoke to birds in the forest. Her compound became a shrine. Her voice became a psalm. But then there came one morning, under the gaze of the sun rising from the Indian Ocean, and Yaa Asantewaa sat beneath a palm tree in quiet meditation. She held in her lap a carved stool made of ash wood, carved in secret by a local carpenter to honor the one that she could no longer see, and a hush fell over the island. The waves, they stopped their rhythm. Birds circled above her head and then mysteriously disappeared. And so she closed her eyes and her breathing slowed. And then, without pain and without fear, her spirit rose up and out, wrapped in gold and red light. You see, the goddess, Nana Namiwa, came down from the sky in a chariot of fire, and together the two of them flew beyond the clouds into the hidden ancestral realm. And there the ancestors knelt, and there the stars bowed, because there she was crowned anew, not with gold, but with shimmering light. For she had become an ascended master, joining the ranks of spiritual warriors who protect nations, who stir revolution and rebellion, and whisper courage into the ears of those who would lead. Her spirit endures on, and she is a guide to us all. And so today, when young girls in Ghana rise to speak, when drums thunder at the shrine of a queen, when resistance stirs in the heart of the oppressed, it is Yaa Asantewaa who speaks through them, because she lives in the flame of battle and the heart of revolution. She walks in the battle cries of women. She watches from beyond, no longer of the earth, but forever of the people. Yaa Asantewaa, queen of the Ashanti, keeper of the golden flame, ascended warrior of justice. May her name never fade. May her fire never die. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.